Welcome to another edition of the brand called You. Today I have with me a very accomplished entrepreneur, restaurateur who has achieved a lot, Joy Singh. Joy, welcome to the
Hi.
show.
Good morning. Hi.
Joy is from Mayo College and from IIFT. He is the founder of Rasta, which is a Caribbean lounge, and Yeti, which is a Tibetan restaurant. And he is the founder of the Dribble Academy Foundation. So, Joy, tell me, from IIFT to a restaurateur, talk to me about this journey.
It starts a little before IIFT.
Mhm.
Okay. While I was doing my graduation from Pune, I've done my graduation from Symbiosis, Pune.
Okay.
So while I was there, as you know, when you're in college, you always need to make that extra pocket money, do this, do that. So we used to organize some nights, or we used to plan some nights for certain clubs there.
Okay.
Okay, that we just used to do out of hobby, and yes, free entry in the club. Who doesn't like that?
Mhm.
Plus that importance that you get in college. Okay, this is the guy who can get the entries done and
Mhm.
get stuff done for clubs, lounges, and places like that.
Right.
So it started like that, and then once I shifted to Delhi, okay, I tried working with my dad for a couple of years. That's export of walnuts, so we're into walnuts.
Mhm.
So tried my hand on that, but the entire kida of serving people, okay, at a bar or a restaurant didn't go out of me. And plus, whenever we used to go out in Delhi, we always, as all North Indians are, we used to point fingers. Okay, this is not right at a place. That is not right at a place.
Right.
And we were like, okay, once when we open our place, all of these things won't exist.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll take care of that. So that was actually the igniting factor.
Mhm.
And then that's how it happened. That's how I entered this line. Yeah,
Terrific. Terrific.
yeah,
So let's move to your, your two restaurant brands.
yeah.
When you started, why did you decide to focus on reggae music? I mean, I thought reggae music
Hmm.
was my vintage. I didn't realize millennials like you were listening to reggae.
Well, that is first. That is one music that has a lot of deeper meaning to it, because it was born out of an oppression or a suppression, whatever you call it, whichever side you see it from. Okay, it was a revolutionary music that made sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was one. Second, ironically, my uncles, my dad, they are into all sorts of music. Okay,
Okay.
they've grown up in Kashmir and during the golden years of Kashmir. So at that time, Kashmir was very, very open to a lot of foreign tourism, a lot of new cultures. Okay, so they have made me listen to from Abida Parveens to Nusrats to your Bob Marley's to Jimmy Cliff.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how it happened. And when we started hunting for a place, we got a place here in Delhi, and then we started thinking, okay, what do we open here?
Hmm.
And that's when we realized that you have bars and lounges catering to popular music. You have bars and lounges catering to Hindi music.
Hmm.
Okay, English EDM music, it's there. Live music, it's there. But there's one genre that specifically does not exist per outlet, say. So that
Hmm.
was reggae. You have a hard rock cafe for a rock fan,
Hmm.
and you had your Ruto Fords and stuff like that for rock fans.
Hmm.
So, like that, all the restaurants were there, but there was nothing available for, or there was no option for a pure reggae place or reggaeton, the entire dubstep,
Right.
dancehall culture. Yeah.
Right. Do you permit a lot of freelancers to come and perform live in your restaurants?
Yes, so when we started our outlet in 2012,
Hmm.
okay, so we used to call it a music-based lounge,
Okay.
where, because as you must be knowing, the culture, the Rastafari culture is primarily, there's a lot of music in it.
Yeah.
Plus a lot of positive vibrations they talk about, a lot of positivity they talk about.
Hmm.
So that was one element that we wanted to bring in our lounge through music.
Hmm.
So we used to work with a lot of known artists. We used to work with a lot of independent artists, a lot of upcoming artists. Okay, we worked in our initial years. We worked a lot with artists like Nuclear, okay, who was still coming up at that time,
Hmm.
or Dualist Inquiry, the local producers, or Reggae Rajas.
Right.
Okay, and in terms of international acts and bigger names, we worked with reggae names like Diana King, like Apache Indian. They've come here and they've performed at our venues.
Okay.
So These are the kind of brother culture to
Hmm.
name a few. So Nati was also there from UK.
Hmm.
So a lot of mixed bag from bands to DJs to musicians we worked with.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. And is the interest in reggae growing in our country?
So I think in a country like ours, there's scope of all sorts of music. It's not that we are scarce in population, or it's not that people don't have a taste in music.
Right.
Okay, from your EDM to your ghazals to your bedhugs to your electronic festivals, everything there is an acceptance for everything in the
Hmm.
society today. Yeah.
Okay. And let's talk about your second brand, which is Yeti. Tibetan food, when I was growing up and in Delhi University, Tibmon, as it used to be called then, was always seen as a poorer cousin of Chinese food.
Yeah.
What have you done differently?
So a Yeti is not just Tibetan food. Okay, it's Tibetan, Nepalese, a bit of Assamese,
Okay.
okay, Bhutanese. So there's a link of all.
Hmm.
Plus, it's just I think what we've done is we've just picked it up from the hawkers and got it to a restaurant with restaurant norms. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. This is a brand that we took over from the founders a couple of years back.
Hmm.
Okay, they had to shift out of Delhi, so they were looking for a buyer. And on a personal level, me and my wife used to eat there about what twice or thrice a week.
Hmm.
So we like what better brand to get in a kitty.
Correct.
So
Correct.
yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But my question to you then is that one of the biggest challenges most entrepreneurs face is to run one type of business. You're running two very diverse businesses, even though they're both restaurants, but completely different cuisines, completely
Yeah.
different ambience, genres, whatever. What does it take to manage such diverse businesses?
See, for any business or any diversification, I think your focus should be clear. You should know where you're heading to. You should know your goal, and never try and imitate anyone or copy anyone. So till the time it's your own concept, until the time you're walking your own path
Hmm.
and religiously doing it.
Okay.
I think there are people doing six, seven types of businesses. There are huge industrialists doing, I don't know, uncountable number of things, and that's still sustaining, right?
Okay.
So what that gives you is that gives you a wider range, plus it allows you to streamline your company's operations. Once those are done, delegation of work is very important in this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess
So
accountability.
accountability, yes.
You know. So,
Yeah, accountability you should have. So in that, HR plays a very major role, that whom you are hiring, how you are hiring, what kind of positions you are filling in, and how people should be faithful to you, to the business for that matter, and how they are there for the betterment of the business.
right. Very
Yeah.
interesting. Very interesting. And one more question. You're a millennial yourself, and this is the age of millennials and the Gen Z.
Thank you for calling me that.
Well, you just told me. The thing is that with such a different mindset that all you young people have, what kind of an impact is it having on your businesses, on your restaurants, as compared to the older guys?
Yeah, so the only thing I think we guys lack in this generation is patience, because we've seen so many success stories which have come overnight, plus the at the time in the time of this kind of technology,
Correct.
where news is out and it reaches you before it's, I don't know, before they've actually planned to throw it out.
Correct.
So that's one thing we lack, that is patience. But what that does, the other impact of it is, because we are never satisfied with one kind, so the zeal is always there to do something extra to achieve that perfection.
Correct.
Okay, that, because again, I don't think in our generation till now self actualization or that level of hierarchy where you reach
Hmm.
does not exist till now. I don't think so.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess a lot of it also comes with age, isn't it?
Yes.
Age and experience.
Yes.
Agree.
Definitely. I like when my dad tells me his stories when he was my age, it was a different deal altogether at that time. But they were also pushing it as much as they could, and we are also doing the same. It's just that I think we have slightly different means of doing it,
Hmm.
and our hands are a little freer because of the technology. At that time, it wasn't that strong.
Hmm.
So
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So let me move to the next question, set of questions on you being a startup entrepreneur.
Mm.
And my question is that, you've started businesses, you've acquired businesses. In your opinion, is it good to be solo or have a co-founder?
No, it's always good to have a co-founder. I in all our brands, me and there's one more person called Rahul. So Rahul is my childhood friend and like an elder brother. So he's been there since day one. We've built everything together.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's always helpful to have a trustworthy partner.
Okay.
That's I think that's the right way to put it. Rather than just a partner, you can have 10,000 partners who would like to cheat you or fleece you or do this, that.
Mhm.
But the one trustworthy partner, I think, is enough for you to move forward.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So my next question to you is that, you must be seeing lots of startup entrepreneurs who your friends are, and I'm sure you've made mistakes yourself. So my question for all our listeners and viewers is what, in your opinion, are some of the basic mistakes a lot of startup founders make?
I think speed.
Hmm.
Yeah, that is one of the major mistakes that all of us commit or make is that should be the first step and not the top of the ladder and the first go. So that's what we guys just are so engulfed and so determined to succeed, that we forget that there's a process to it.
Correct.
There are at times we forget that there's a process to it. So we just want to jump and grab everything, go in all directions,
Mhm.
and that is another aspect. When we try and put our hands everywhere, then obviously there'll be a time when we'll fall short of hands.
Oh, okay,
So
that's a great
yeah,
answer. And my next question to you is, I've spoken to a lot of people, and their biggest challenge comes when they start to scale up.
yeah.
You have already opened four restaurants in four different cities.
Yes.
What have been some of your challenges while scaling up?
Especially in a country like India, regionalism is one.
Mhm.
Okay. Like, I know these are intolerant times, so called, but while we had got a place in Bombay to open a Rasta in Bombay,
Mhm.
okay, it took us about 9 to 10 months to finalize a house for ourselves.
I see.
Yeah, because a lot of societies or a lot of landlords won't give it to North Indians.
Oh, really? Okay.
That same thing I've faced while I was in college in Pune too. But different cities, one is regionalism, the other is because you're not there, so lack of physical presence, okay, is also there. But for that, you just need a stronger organization.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
and well trained people, I guess.
Yes, stronger organization where your hiring is good. You have trustworthy, well-trained people, professional people handling your
Okay,
business. That's it. Yeah.
terrific. And for all the people who will be listening to you and me talking, and taking tips from you, what would your advice be to a young individual starting off their journey as an entrepreneur?
My advice would be in a couple of parts. One would be stay focused to what you want to do
Hmm.
and don't deviate because of the other person's success.
Hmm.
Okay, stay original. Where if you think you have a product and you believe in your product and you've done the correct market research and the correct polls, I think it should work. Time, it matters, but you have to be a little patient for it to work.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I've got now time for a few questions for you, which are personal questions.
Yes, sir, please.
Um, Joy, where do you draw your inspiration from?
From all around, it seems.
Okay.
Yeah, if we see someone, first of all, our family. Okay, you've seen them grow. You've grown with them. You've seen them grow, and as every son, I think I want to be more like my dad. So yes, he's one of the greatest inspirations,
Okay.
and he's taught me a lot. But your surroundings inspire you a lot.
Okay.
On the second front, where you see where the society is going, you see where people are going, how they're doing it, you adapt some things from them.
Mm.
Plus then you innovate also with that. Okay, that is the process that suits X person, so I think Y might suit me. So your society, your surroundings are a major inspiration to you.
Okay. My next question is that if you were a role model to millions of children who closely followed your life choices, what is the one thing you would change in yourself?
Only thing is a bit of a lethargic approach that I have.
Mhm.
That's the only thing that I would like to change,
Mhm.
because as we Indians do, and famous sayings that we have is "Acha aaj nahi kal ho jayega."
Mhm.
Yeah, that is one lackadaisical approach that I would to change. I would like to change about myself. Yeah,
What does success mean to you?
being happy and being content. I think
Okay. Not making tons of money.
tons of money can never bring you happiness.
Okay. Well done. What is the most exciting and challenging aspect of your job?
There are no holidays.
Mhm.
We work double shifts on holidays when people are enjoying their holidays, and there are no timelines to this job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have time for two more questions.
Yes, sir.
My next question is that if you could gain one ability or quality that you admire in someone else, what would it be?
Not from someone else, but one thing that is not achievable, but I would like to have it as that I want to be there at all the places at all the time,
Okay.
and I can't be. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I want to be there and at my Bombay outlet at the same time. I want to be here in my Delhi outlet or Gurgaon outlet, but I cannot be at all three places at the same
Correct.
time.
Correct.
So that is one thing, if possible, I would like to change. Be technologically also, but yeah, that would make
Terrific.
things
My
easier. Yeah.
last question to you, Joy, is relating to the current pandemic. How are you rethinking your life and your business in the new world order?
Okay, rethinking life and business combined is we are building an office at our home now instead of going and finding it outside.
Okay.
But business-wise, I think, if I may say, product-wise, Yeti does not need that kind of an overhaul,
Mhm.
because it's more like a dining space where we can still start time slots and regain the revenue that we've lost.
Mhm.
Okay, or do pre-booking tables and this and that. But Rasta, we will have to re-strategize, and we are re-strategizing, because a lounge or a bar,
Mhm.
specifically a music-based lounge or a bar, we thrive and we last on crowds.
Okay.
And once till the time this social distancing aspect or norm is there, and we can't have crowds
Right.
sticking to each other, dancing to tunes,
Hmm.
we'll have to re-strategize, and we'll have to think of other strategies to survive.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, Joy, thank you very much. It has been such a
Please.
pleasure speaking to you,
It was a pleasure talking to you, sir.
and I wish
Yeah.
you lots of success.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for listening to the Brand Called You videocast and podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for the Brand Called You.